Hand and Power Tool Guidelines. Overview. Utilize the following guidelines to determine the safety precautions necessary when working with hand and power tools. General requirements. When working with hand and power tools, employees should follow the tool manufacturer's instruction manual. Inspect the tool before each use. If found not to be in correct working condition, inoperable or requiring maintenance, sharpening, etc., the employee should stop using the tool and notify their supervisor. Use the tool in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions, guidelines only. Wear all required personal protective equipment. Refer to the PPE, Personal Protective Equipment, guidelines for additional information that is required when working with tools. Notify a supervisor when you are unfamiliar with a piece of equipment, tool, or do not know how to safely operate. There should be a suitable storage area for tools on the project. Gang boxes, a Con-X box, or locked, secured area should be identified. At the end of shift, tools should be returned to this location and locked up. Only tools in safe working conditions are to be used. Any damaged or worn tools should be promptly repaired or replaced. Power tools having damaged electrical cords or plugs shall be immediately removed from service and reported to a supervisor. Only employees authorized to repair tools may do so. Hand tools. Only tools in safe working conditions are to be used. Any damaged or worn tools should be promptly repaired or replaced. Temporary or makeshift repairs should not be used. The correct tool for the job is to be used. Substituting pliers for a hammer, screwdrivers for a pry bar, is not good practice. Tools are to be kept in good condition with guards and handles firmly intact. Cutting tools must be kept sharp for safety and efficiency. Power tools. Electric power tools should either be of the approved double insulated type and/or possess a 3-wire cord with a ground prong. A ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupters, breaker, receptacle, or pigtail type, should be used when using a power tool. When a tool is equipped with a guard, the guard should remain in place. For information regarding table saw guarding, refer to Table Saw Incident Safety Update. Power tools should be disconnected from their power source when changing attachments, making minor adjustments, or repairing. Handheld power tools, such as circular saws, chainsaws, and percussion tools without positive accessory holding means should be equipped with a constant pressure switch that will shut off power when released. This constant pressure switch should not be tampered with. Power tools shall not be raised, lowered, or carried by their electric cords. Pneumatic tools. Hammers, drills, saws, tampers, paving breakers, and vibrators are examples of pneumatic tools, which are powered by compressed air. The same precautions for the use and care of pneumatic tools should be followed as for electric and gasoline-powered equipment. Pneumatic power tools should be secured to the air hose by whip checks to prevent the tool from becoming accidentally disconnected. All air supply lines should be protected from damage, inspected regularly, and maintained in good condition. Compressed air tools should not be carried, raised, or lowered by their air hoses. Compressed air should not be used to clean off people. Powder-actuated tools, PAT. Tools utilizing explosive charges to drive fasteners and perform similar functions are powder-actuated tools. The manufacturers of these devices provide detailed instructions regarding their use and care, which should be consulted, as necessary. PAT should only be used by individuals trained and authorized to operate such tools. PAT should be equipped to prevent firing during loading, unloading, dropping, or preparing to fire. Also, they should be equipped with a mechanism to prevent firing unless the muzzle end is pressed against a surface. PAT not in proper working order or that develop a defect during use should be immediately tagged and removed from service until repaired. PAT should be loaded only immediately prior to the intended firing time. A loaded tool should not be carried to or from a worksite. Shot cartridges should be disposed of properly and according to the manufacturer's specifications. Loaded tools should not be left unattended. Eye protection must be worn by operators and assistants. A face shield should be used where there is danger of spilling materials. Hearing protection should be worn when using powder-actuated devices. See Hearing Protection Guidelines. Warning signs and barriers should be posted in areas where powder-actuated tools are being used. The tool's safety devices should be inspected and tested prior to each use to assure they are in proper working condition. Testing shall be done in accordance with the manufacturer's recommended procedure. The tool should never be pointed at anyone, whether loaded or unloaded, and hands should be kept clear of the open barrel end. Powder-actuated tools should not be stored or used in explosive atmospheres, near highly flammable materials, or where non-sparking tools are required. Additional information. OSHA 29 CFR 1926.300, Subpart I, Tools, Hand and Power. Cal, OSHA Title 8 California Code of Regulations, 1505, 1510, 1684, 1685, 1687, 1690, 1691, 1699, 1704, 1707, 2395.45, 2559, 3425, 3942, 4086, 4296, 4300, 4301, 4307, 4309, 4310.